Here comes Matt and Sean. Here comes Matt and Sean to talk about Christmas. Yes, it's our holiday episode. We're here to talk about everything December, from your favorite holidays to our greatest traditions. Stick around. It's very festive. Up for debate. This is Up for Debate, episode number 133, recorded December 19th, 2018. Christmas cheer. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Up for Debate, the debate podcast that no longer talks about the XFL. I am Sean Jennings, joined as always by our chief Christmas consultant, our festive captain.
Ho, ho, ho there, Sean. How's it going?
It is just bright and cheery and just generally.
All right.
I'm doing a lot of fist pumping. It's just I'm jacked, Matt.
Well,
for the holidays.
it's that time of year. We collectively realized about a week and a half ago that we never did a Christmas episode.
Somehow,
right? We never did any.
We've done
any
a Halloween
kind of festive
episode.
Holidays. Yeah. We've done a Halloween episode. We've done a winter episode. We've done a fall episode.
Did we do a Thanksgiving specific one? I don't think we
did.
Okay.
Way back, I think in our first season, we ran a Thanksgiving episode. I very distinctly remember it. But we never, I don't think we ever did we both at least collectively don't remember doing a Christmas episode. So now we think it's a good opportunity as any to talk about the Christmas season, the holiday season. Yeah.
I'm excited. Now, Matt, I do want to get something straight right off the bat. Now, I consider myself the chief captain of the political correctness committee, okay? I'm very much into political correctness. I will be a total dork about it because I think just don't be a dick, right? That's my sort of thing. I do want to be specific, though. This is a Christmas episode, and the reason for that is not because we're trying to exclude other holidays. I'm a Happy Holidays guy most of the time, although maybe we can talk about our opinions on Happy Holidays versus Merry Christmas. But I just want to say the reason we're not doing a Hanukkah episode or a Kwanzaa episode or a Boxing Day episode or any of the other December holiday episode is because Matt and I celebrate Christmas. Christmas, I think, is fair to say is the most popular December holiday. I think that's fair to say. Yeah. And also, we're not taking a particularly religious bent on it. So no, I just want to put that out there. I
think it is also. It's also fair that we will gladly give equal time to other holidays. It's just I don't think that we are as knowledgeable about celebrating Hanukkah. Neither of us are of the Jewish faith. And,
absolutely.
And like you said before, we're going to keep it as secular as we can. When talking about the holiday of Christmas from a worldly point of view, not the holiday of Christmas from a religious point of view, which I think there are distinctions in modern society that have come about as a result of that. And we have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that this is the world that we live in. And that, we're talking about, we love to talk about shopping and things like that on the show, all the time. And that's the side of Christmas we're talking about. We're talking about the side of Christmas that's all about exchanging gifts and, putting the tree up, and we'll talk about carols and things like that. And we do respect and understand that there is a deeply religious side to Christmas, but that's just not what we're going to talk about on this episode.
No babies and mangers, we promise. I will say, Matt, I think you're right. Like most holidays, Christmas began with a somewhat religious bent and has ultimately become a capitalist nightmare. And that's what we're dealing with Christmas. So we're going to focus more on that than anything else. Matt, where do you want to start on Christmas? Any particular topic?
Well, going off the capitalist nightmare, I think it reminds me of something that I just said to Katie, my fiance, not even a week ago. I said something along the lines of I love Christmas, but I hate Giftmas. Giftmas is what I think it's become, and that's kind of what I call it now, is Giftmas. It's to me, even the part of Christmas that's great is spending time with your family, getting time off of work, and enjoying yourself. But Giftmas to me is that's that part that you said, that capitalist nightmare. And Giftmas is all about, I think, putting unnecessary pressure on the working class of society. Like in terms of like, I'm already at work and now I feel pressured to get every single person I know some kind of gift. That these gifts lists, these Christmas lists, Sean, they've gotten way out of hand. Here's the thing about the list is that, if you know somebody and you care about them and you probably you should have a good sense of what they like or what they are into, but this list, this idea with this like gift list, it's almost like a shopping list, it's like, here's all the things that I want, go buy them for me. And I don't agree with that necessarily. I mean, there's something to be said about like making your intentions clear. Like, I'd really like this version of a video game instead of this version, or, I much prefer, a new football or something like that instead of, the old one I have. But like, do you understand where I'm coming from on this? Like the idea of like almost like a list of demands. It's like, I like to be surprised. I'm someone who I think my friends and my family, the people that I care about, they know what I'm into and what I'm about and things that I would appreciate.
But I think, well, first of all, I will just very quickly plug our own show, back episode number 97, titled Gift Wrapped. We did a whole episode about giving gifts, advice for giving gifts. It was actually, I think, a really good episode. So I recommend people go check that out if you'd like some tips from Matt and I about giving gifts. But I agree. The problem, Matt, so I've got two issues with what you've brought up. The first being, I just think it's impossible in 2018 to truly craft original, creative, surprising gifts for people. I think you do have to go with the list, and I think the reason for that is because nobody makes things anymore. The things you buy are pretty regimented. I just feel like your gift options are more limited than they used to be. Just as a society, I also feel that we are adults now in a capitalist society where we're expected to buy things all year round. And by the time Christmas, I fall into this where I say, when I need something, I just go buy it. I'm not going to wait till Christmas to ask you for something. If I need a leaf blower, I'm going to go buy a leaf blower. I'm not going to wait to ask Santa for it in December. And so by the time Christmas comes around, it's like, I don't need anything. There's maybe things, cool things, outside the box things. But in terms of just straightforward gifts, we're such spenders in society today that there's just, I think for the average person, there's not a huge list of like, stuff that you aren't going to go and get throughout the year.
Yeah, that's a good point. That it's kind of like gift exhaustion.
Oh, totally.
Or purchasing exhaustion.
And you got to remember, Matt, their gift now, the problem I have, and this I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, I actually like the gift-giving aspect of Christmas. The issue I have is that there's so many other gift-giving holidays throughout the year. Anniversaries, birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day. You give gifts so much throughout the year that I feel it takes some of the specialness away from Christmas. The idea that once a year, you spend time and energy thinking of your loved ones and give them not buying something for the sake of buying them something, but giving them a token of appreciation, an item that represents how much you care about them. To me, I think it's great. On the flip side, I will also say what I like about gift giving at Christmas is, and this is going to sound really dorky, but it's really good for our economy that we have a holiday solely based around spending. Between Black Friday and Christmas, if those two holidays disappeared tomorrow, no joke, it would legitimately affect our GDP. So I'm just going to say, I think we've built a society where those holidays are important spending holidays. So sure. I'm not going to go say we shouldn't give gifts, but I agree with you. I think gift giving now is more automatic. It's more mechanical. It's less thought and more what's on sale, what's the cool new thing, and less of how can I impact this person's life with my token of appreciation.
Sure. One might say it's gotten more religious. It's like, back in the olden days when the obligation is to go to mass or something like that on Christmas. But now it's the obligation is to go to Macy's and buy a gift and give it. It's like, it's just,
That's
it's
deep.
It is. That's a deep cut. It's like, that's what modern society is. It's almost like, capitalism has supplanted in a lot of ways our sense of religion. I think there's a great quote, if you ever get the chance to read it, from I forget the author's name, but he writes a speech called "This Is Water." Have you heard of this speech?
No.
It's read at a lot of graduations. This is water. And there's one part of the speech he specifically talks about believing in things. And he says, like, whether you know it or not, every single person is going to be religious. You know, speaking of focusing on either that religion is, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, one of the traditional religions, or that religion can be filled up with material things. They can be a materialist and believe in giving gifts, getting gifts, focusing on working hard. Your religion can be money, working hard for money, but yet never finding that you'll never have enough. Your religion can be beauty, finding it, trying to make yourself as desirable and attractive as you possibly can, realizing that one day you will age and all of that will fade away. So, I mean, the point of that part of the speech is that whether even if you think you're choosing not to believe in something or to follow something, there are other things that will fill that void. And those things might be money, they might be desirability. And I think the Christmas season or the holiday season, December now, has kind of, people have chosen to focus less on the religious side of it, the religious aspect on it, but they're filling that hole with the gift giving and the exchange. Now, like you said, I do think that's now become a significant part of our economy. I shudder to think what would happen if that disappeared overnight. It would lead to some kind of like drastic depression, probably, I would guess. And I think it is there are good parts to it, like, but it's the whole thing, like you said. It's become less special. Well, I can just order a gift online on a computer on Amazon and not have to, like, I only have to think for like 10 minutes about the gift versus, do you think that's a change, like, versus going to a store and like, okay, I need to browse this store. I need to like hunt for the right gift, and it could take hours, but I need to spend that time looking for the right gift versus like, oh, I'm online, like click, 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 and I'm done.
I don't have a problem with people buying online. I think that's okay. It's about the effort put in and whether that effort is virtual or real or even hand making something. I think it's about the effort and the thought that goes into it. And I think to people I know, people I work with, people I interact with, who their gift giving sort of mantra is, I have to spend X number of dollars. I have to get $100 worth of gifts for so-and-so. How am I going to fill that money? Just buying stuff. Okay, my kid's got to get this many gifts. Just buy stuff. Okay, I overheard somebody at the office say, I've got to go to the store this weekend because I need more stuff to give to my kids. And I'm like, you're just going for the sake of buying more stuff? Like, that to me completely misses the point. I realize it's a little different with children because they don't understand how this stuff works. But I just think the idea that we're just filling a quota or we're just buying to buy is just really lame. I would frankly rather you go on Etsy and buy something homemade. Okay, you didn't make it yourself, but at least you took the time to say, wow, Sean would really love this engraved serving bowl, and then it's something I can keep. It says personality every time I use it. I'll think of you. Those are the kind of gifts people really should think about, not dumb shit. But I don't know.
No, I'm with you there. Buying or making things like homemade things. I think they're becoming more popular. The world of Etsy and whatnot. I think that's the way to go. That's really, if you can, make something yourself. I think that really goes a long way. Do something for someone. That goes a long way too. To me, a homemade gift, no matter what it is, it's always going to mean more, just because somebody that made it really did take that time, that extra time to do it, instead of just popping into a Target.
Yep.
And I think that's great. I wish that I was able to do things like that, but I'm not really the most talented person.
Well, Matt, you've already gotten your fiance the greatest gift of all this year, an engagement ring. So you're all set. You're good to go. I didn't get one, but hey, whatever. I'm not taking it personally.
Sorry, Sean. Only one per year.
No,
That's how they work, right?
I am, yes, one per year. Yep. So I'm curious who it'll be. Maybe it'll be me in 2019.
You're in the running.
I'm going to pivot us away from gifts from a little bit, only because I fear we're going to start duplicating what we talked about on episode 97. So seriously, if you liked that train of thought, go check it out. We legitimately, I'm not even joking, we had some really good gift ideas in there. So if you're like, oh my God, it's a week till Christmas and I don't know what to get somebody, maybe Up for Debate can help you. Or, by the way, give your loved ones the gift of Up for Debate. Send them to upfordebate.tv.
Yeah,
it's not going to cost you anything.
It's free. Exactly. It's as
of
right now, it's totally free. I always try to tell Sean, we do such a good job here. We should start pushing the premium package on people. Like, start making them. But I mean, it's right now it's robbery. You get all this stuff for free.
And listen, old people are dumb. Just tell them you paid for it.
We have promotional items from time to time, right? Sean makes tote bags and refrigerator magnets and all sorts of really cool things. So it's worth sticking around for.
Indeed. Now, Matt, there was a thing that we touched on, because obviously before we come on the show, we kind of talk about what our topic's going to be, and we touched on something we actually disagreed on. A holiday staple. A creamy beverage. You know what I'm talking about.
I absolutely do. Lemon meringue.
I hate meringue. Meringue is gross.
Ooh, I love lemon meringue and lime meringue. They're great.
Any kind of meringue
I
is
had
disgusting.
The biggest desire for a lemon meringue pie. I'm not joking.
Where did you even buy one?
Like 5 days ago. I'm not kidding. I don't know why. I woke up with it and I was like, I would love like just a slice of lemon meringue. You might have had a minor stroke. I don't know. Maybe.
Are you okay?
I had this powerful urge for a lemon meringue. I never got my lemon meringue fix.
Still dreaming.
So I will have to, maybe reinvestigate that in the future. That's true. Where would you buy one? Wegmans doesn't even have it.
It's not common. It's not common at all.
It's not.
No.
It's not. But no, we're talking about eggnog.
We're talking about the nog, man.
Frothy beverage called eggnog, which is amazing, fantastic. And I haven't had it yet this year, unfortunately. I'm kind of late to the game. I've been trying to watch my weight lately, which is really not an easy thing to do.
Well, are you watching it go up?
I'm trying to watch it stay down, but it's kind of it's been up, it's been down, it's been all around. But the holiday season is a hard time to do that, I'm finding. There's all these temptations, but none is greater to me, Sean, than the eggnog. No greater temptation than the nog.
Now, why do you explain to me the appeal of eggnog? Why do you like eggnog?
I don't know. I've always been a fan of that vanilla milky flavor. Like even as a child, I was the one that always, like, if it was vanilla or chocolate, I always picked vanilla. Loved it. I think a lot of people think it's boring, but they don't appreciate that vanilla itself is a flavor. And it's a good flavor. It's become so normal and so normalized that people don't realize its goodness. And eggnog is just like kind of that rich vanilla flavor taken up to 11. And there's something about the texture of it too. I don't know. It's like a milkshake. It's like enjoying a milkshake, but it's easier to drink. And I think the seasonal aspect definitely plays a role too.
Sure, it's kind of like candy corn. You don't want it year round, but
I hate. I would need candy corn anytime.
And I would eat candy corn year round. So
candy corn, I find, is like it's just like eating pure sugar lumps. I don't know. I'm not a fan of things that are too sweet, but. Eggnog, Sean. It's delicious beverage. Now, why don't you like eggnog?
So here's the thing, Matt. So we had this discussion last week, and I was thinking about it a couple days later, and I realized something. The last time I had eggnog, I was a child. Oh. And I didn't like it, and then I just never had it again. And there are many things I didn't like as a child that I now like as an adult. Your tastes change.
Sure.
And I thought, in the spirit of the holidays, in the spirit of trying something new, Matt, I said, I got to give eggnog another shot.
Yeah.
And so
did you? Oh,
off-screen prop time. Here. I came prepared in my clear mug here. Look at that. That's a gross-looking beverage.
All right.
Now, I will admit, I gave the Don't Panic crew a heads up on Monday that I was doing this, and I got a ton of crap from them for drinking store-bought eggnog. They said homemade or nothing, and I said BS, I ain't got time for that. So this is just store-bought, regular eggnog, nothing special to it. It's creamy. It doesn't really smell like much. We've lost Matt here for a minute. Hold up. And so delicious eggnog. And so,
the Don't Panic crew, they warned you against really not getting store-bought eggnog.
Well, first of all, they said three things. They said, one, store-bought eggnog is gross and you should only do homemade. Two, they said, don't ever drink it without alcohol in it. And three, they said you should put a little nutmeg on top. Now, I did none of that.
Now, I agree with the nutmeg, but if it's your first time trying it, I don't think you should add like the nutmeg. I think it's better to just kind of drink it as is. Now the homemade aspect, do they really, Colby and Dan really make homemade eggnog?
Dan said he makes it every year for his family. He's apparently got an incredible recipe.
I've never had homemade eggnog.
It didn't sound that hard.
I've only had store-bought. No, it probably, I mean, I'm guessing it's not. It's probably just like ice cream and milk.
It does not contain any ice cream. No, it's
just
egg.
Milk and eggs.
It's eggs and
cream,
sugar.
Heavy cream, sugar.
Something like that. Yeah, okay. So here we go. I'm going to try eggnog for the first time in well over a decade. That's not bad.
What's not to like about it, right?
I don't think I would ever buy it because to me it is boring. I think alcohol would really help. Now I think if I had some spiced rum in the house, there would be some in here.
It is delicious. It's wow. Talk about a good drink.
Because I love milkshakes. I'm down with creamy beverages.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's the store bought, it just really doesn't taste like it.
Tastes like it's missing something.
Like flavor.
Yeah.
It's very blah. But I'm on board.
Some brands are definitely better than others. What do you remember what brand you purchased?
I think this is the fine folks at the Hood Company.
Okay. See, I don't usually buy Hood. I usually go with Garlic.
Oh, sure.
Garlic is that's a good eggnog.
Yeah.
But good. Okay. So you find eggnog tolerable.
If I were, so put it this way, if I were at a Dan Miller party and there was a batch of homemade eggnog with rum in it, hell yeah, I'd try it.
Yeah.
I would be that. Would I ever like buy some to have in my house? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. But
that's fair. Then and I'm you know what? I'm proud of you for giving
because I used to be a hater. I used to be like, ugh, gross eggnog. Why would you drink eggnog? And I'm like, okay, no, I see it. I see why people like it.
Yeah, you tried it. See, it's all about trying new things.
I am.
By the way, that would make for an interesting episode if we have fans pick new things for us to try and we just try them.
We famously ate chocolate-covered ants and the crickets and all that.
We're all about trying new things. We had an idea in a previous episode about ordering each other like for dummies book.
Oh yeah,
reading it and like doing whatever
and
the
like
thing
learning
was.
a new skill.
I still think that would be a great idea for a New Year's resolution episode.
That seems like a lot of work, buddy.
Matt,
you've already given me like 30 James Bond movies I have to watch. I
already gave you a project. That's true.
It's a lot.
It is. We got a lot on our plates here. But anyway, eggnog is a beautiful holiday tradition.
Weird.
I happen to really enjoy it, and the only thing is, it is like a meal in a glass. It's got a lot. It's pretty filling and rich.
Oh yeah.
But worth it, I think. It's good stuff.
Okay, that was my big gimmick for the episode. So.
Oh, all right.
There you go.
So there you go. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, that was it. This has been Matt and Sean try beverages.
Speaking of gimmicks, I wanted to buy a Santa hat for this episode, but I wasn't thinking far enough ahead, and it's very hard to find Santa hats, surprisingly.
Yeah. I've every year for the Don't Panic holiday episode, I've always wanted to get one, and I just never get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things. Matt, what do you think about people decorating their houses on the outside? The lights, the inflatables, the waving Santas, the reindeer on the roof, the whole 9 yards.
I don't have a problem with it. I think it's pretty cool. I don't ever really see myself as being one of those people that goes all out in decorating. I think I'll probably keep it to a minimum, like string lights, maybe an inflatable Santa on the lawn or something like that. But some people really dig it, and good for them. More power to them. But I just don't. I don't think I'll ever be the one. I won't be the nicest house on the block or whatever. I do have fond memories of going with my parents, driving around and like looking at lights. We used to do that every single year. As the legend goes, Sean, I have a fun little story about that actually that I'd like to share. So, when parents always remember their children's like first words that they say. Mm-hmm. Apparently, my first word was when we were driving around and we were looking at Christmas lights, and I was in the back seat as a baby, and I said the word lights. Lights or lights. See, like is the Christmas lights.
I thought you were going to say ugly.
Or like busybody. Like
get a life.
Get a life. Would you say get lights? No, get a life.
Wow.
Or expensive. Like
Matt, I knew
those lights must be expensive.
I knew that you had always a bright light in your eyes. And
that's right. A bright future.
Destined for greatness.
Indeed. So, what was your first word, Sean? Do you know the first word you ever said?
No, I'm sure it was a very boring one. Pasta. No, I don't know.
Pasta would count.
That seems like a word a kid would say.
I'm always of the argument when a baby says like mama or dada, I don't count that. I don't think that should count as a first word. It's not a word.
No.
And it's also like that's every baby's first word. So like a full word, I would count that. But yeah, the lights thing, I think I have to kind of have a place for that. How about you? What are your thoughts about the Christmas lights? Is it too much? Are people getting too crazy with it?
Man, let me ask you, what do you think my opinion is on this?
Okay,
this is a fun game to play.
I'm glad you asked me. I think that you probably think that lights are, that anybody who possibly has enough time to hang all those lights on a house has plenty of time to do other things, like get a second job or take on a hobby.
When did I become like a robber baron type? Like, these poors have time to put lights on their house, but they can't get a job?
If they have time to hang lights, they have time to work overtime on Christmas Eve.
So basically, I'm Grinch. I'm the Grinch. I'm Scrooge.
Jacob Marley. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I think that's am I wrong? Am I off the mark? What do you think of the Christmas lights?
Matt, I am generally not a big Christmas guy in general. Like, I like the holiday. I like many aspects of it. I think legitimately my favorite thing about Christmas is people decorating the outside of their houses.
Wow.
And I'm not even joking.
This is like that. It's like what is that? The Newlyweds game where they like try to guess what each other's going to say.
That would be a fun gimmick that's a good gimmick. Write that down. That's a good gimmick episode where we come up. It's like this or that. We come up with a list of questions and see how well we know each other.
Guess the other person's answer. Yeah.
No, Matt, no joke. Don't ever be in a car with me around Christmas because all I ever do is, ooh, and I'm like, oh, look at what? Ooh, hey, wow.
That's interesting. And for some reason, I didn't think you were going to be a Christmas lights guy.
No, it's great because it's got a few of my favorite passions, which is one, judging people, which I love to do. That's why I watch House Hunters. It's great. Yeah. And this is kind of like a version of that. It's also just creative, and it's it's bright and fun to look at, and it is one of those things that if it happened all year round, it wouldn't be cool, but because it only happens for a month out of the year, it's just such a weird, stupid tradition. Giving gifts is very commercial and we do it all year round anyway. The thing about the lights is it's stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why are we doing it? I don't know, but it's cool.
I like to think it's probably evolved from like the Christmas tree itself. It's like we're done decorating the Christmas tree, but I still want to decorate. I'll decorate the inside of my house. Okay, but I still want to decorate, even though my whole house is decked all to the nines. I'll decorate the outside of my house now. This just kind of evolved from there. Now people are decorating their cars, which I think is even further extension. Have you seen those? The cars with the antlers on them? They're all over the place now. All over the place.
I saw
antlers and the reindeer nose.
I saw a car where I don't know if they blew off or they just didn't put them on. There were no antlers. It was just the reindeer nose, but the car looked like a big clown. It was confusing. Yeah. Without the antlers, it
looks like a clown car.
Yeah.
So I guess it would have to be smaller for that.
That sucks. Don't do that. Now, if you cover your car in Christmas lights,
so you're against decorating the car?
No, but again,
you're pro house.
Look, I'm pro the idea of decorating the house, but you can do it badly. So I'm pro decorating your car, but you can do it badly. Like
you think it's
the
lazy
antlers
to just put the antlers on? You got to go all out. You got to put the lights on too.
Oh, I want decals. I want lights. I want
tinsel.
Oh God, yeah! I want it to sparkle, baby. I want it flashing. Right. I want it to be a legitimate road hazard. Okay. Otherwise, you're not doing it. I want a tree sticking out the window. I want the whole thing. Okay.
Nice. How about the Santa's sleigh just right on top?
Tow it behind the car.
Tow it behind the car. Okay, perfect.
You know, that's with a real Santa in it, waving to the kids. Hey, kids, Merry Christmas. I mean, that's awesome.
I'm getting paid by the hour. Yeah.
Just chucking gifts at people on the highway. This is a really good idea.
I think that it's going to create jobs. So
and it's the same with people's houses. I love the houses with like 30 inflatable things. Why? Because it's ugly as hell, but they own it. You know, they go all out. Like if you have one inflatable on your lawn, that sucks. If you have 30 inflatables, you've committed.
I do agree. I do get a sense of, I don't know, maybe secretly deep down when I see a house that went all out with the Christmas decorations, the only reason I think like, where do they have the time for this is that I know deep down I wouldn't be as motivated. And maybe I'm just jealous of that. Maybe I'm just envious that they're motivated to go out and get it. And who knows, maybe by the time I do own my own house, maybe I'll somehow get the motivation. But
that's what's great. You can do this much or you can do a lot. That's what's wonderful about it. You can just put up a single tree in your front yard with a couple lights on it, and that's awesome. And that's great. And that's fun and festive. You can even just have your indoor tree in front of a window that people from the street can see, and you've done it to some degree.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
Or you can go crazy and cover your whole house in lights. It doesn't matter. That's what's fun about it, is everyone gets to be creative, but it's on your property, so you're not bothering anyone else, theoretically. Now, if you go a little too big, maybe your neighbors can't sleep because there are blinding lights going through their windows. But nonetheless, it's just a neat little... literally, I think maybe 10% of the reason I bought a house is so I can decorate it for Christmas. I didn't this year because I'm still a little new to the place, but next year...
Yeah,
I got ideas.
I can see it going all out.
Be up on the ladder, stringing up lights.
Now, Sean, do you have a Christmas tree in your house?
I do have a Christmas tree, Matt. Yes, artificial.
Okay,
pre-lit,
that was the next question.
Folds into 3 pieces.
Okay,
very easy.
Nice, very convenient. We have an artificial tree as well. Are
there tree farms in Virginia like there are in New England?
There are places where you can, I'll rephrase that. There are places you can get Christmas trees. Christmas tree farms, maybe you might have to go a little further west in the state. Mm-hmm. Where I'm at right now, I don't think there are too many Christmas tree farms. But yeah, you drive a bit into the country. I'll bet you'll find them there. They just need to be pines. If not, worst comes to very worst, up Maryland and Pennsylvania, I'm sure have them.
Oh yeah, I mean, what a weird business to be in. A Christmas tree farm.
Yeah, really. Talk about a seasonal, business right there.
Although, I guess if you can make enough money, you only work a couple weeks out of the year and then just grow trees for the rest of it.
Or if you own a farm, you probably do other stuff too.
Yeah.
You probably sell lumber,
pumpkins
firewood,
for Halloween.
Pumpkins for Halloween, corn mazes and apples, things like that.
Yeah.
What do you put on top of your tree? What is the best tree topper?
I'm not a big fan of because for me, I like to decorate the tree. If anything, I would almost have no topper versus a kind of big, elaborate, flashy topper because I think that's distracting. Also, my current house and my last place had lower ceilings, so didn't have an option for a huge topper. I don't know, Matt. Did your tree have a big?
My tree, no, we don't have a big top. I think this year we probably have a star, I want to say. See, it's in the other room. I just can't even remember.
Yeah.
I remember the big topper of my childhood was a star. We always had a star at the top of the tree. Classic, very traditional.
Mm-hmm.
I think we moved on to Angel when I was in like high school, maybe. I don't know what happened to the star. It might have gotten broken or something.
Sure.
But I remember it changing over. And now I don't know if there's a topper on my parents' tree. But I think we went with star. The coolest one I've seen so far is somebody put a top hat on top of their tree.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's
Snazzed
a solid.
it up. It's a snazzy looking tree.
I like that.
Yeah, I've seen all kinds of things. Football player, Barbie doll, everything from under the sun.
Yeah,
can be a tree topper.
I'm going to stick with classic ornaments.
So you're more of an ornaments guy. Okay.
I am, and actually most of my ornaments, which is fun for me, are vintage. They're vintage. Yeah. They're my grandmother's and great-grandmother's. Some go back to the 50s and 40s.
Oh, wow.
And many of them homemade, hand-knit or handmade. And those are really, I mix those in with modern ones, and that's the style I go with. I really enjoy that. Because I think it's a little more personal than just sort of generic bulk decorations.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely more personal. Cool. I'm a big fan of classic ornaments as well. But we added some new ones. We have a couple of Star Trek ornaments on our tree now. The Enterprise, Captain Kirk. Darth
Vader, cool. Chewbacca.
Yeah. I just reminds me of this long thread on Reddit I was reading the other day. This guy had a pen pal in kindergarten or first grade. And 1 year, they started it as like a school assignment, but they kept writing to each other like on and off. And just the next year, he sent him a Christmas ornament with his school picture on it. And he was in like second grade. They fell out of touch. They stopped writing as people do and whatever. But he kept the ornament of this just random guy like halfway across the country.
Yep.
This boy's ornament. His whole life, he had it on the family Christmas tree. And his mother, he's an adult now, and the mother wanted to take it off the tree because she didn't see the point. They never actually met in real life. It was just like pen pals, basically. She wanted to take it off the tree. And he adamantly vetoed her and said, no, that ornament is staying forever. That is a permanent ornament on our tree, this random kid's picture. And it got to a point where they had to have the whole family vote. And his mother his father and sister sided with him against his mother and said, nope, the ornament is staying on the tree. It's a great little thread there. I thought it was hysterical. I don't know whether or not they were going to try to find the guy in real life. And of all people, like Reddit would be the
That's
site.
where to be honest, that's where I thought the story was going.
They're going to find him.
And then they found the guy. It turns out he lived next door the whole time.
Maybe they did. I didn't follow up on it, but people were trying to. They're like, what's his name? Like, where did he live? Let's track him down and see if we could find him and have him visit you on Christmas and see the ornament hanging up and take a picture with it. And I hope they. Godspeed to Reddit.
It'd be a Christmas miracle.
It would. But yeah, that was a pretty funny little Christmas anecdote I came across there.
Now, Matt, I will bring up a Christmas topic. The issue is I think we strongly agree, but okay. Santa.
All right. Are we doing pro or con?
Yeah.
Or are we saying the first thing that pops into our head?
Matt, I could not imagine me wanting anything more on this earth than knowing the first thing that pops into your head because the first anything that pops into your head is always pure gold. Matt, when I say Santa, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint you now, Sean, because...
No, you haven't yet, so...
I'm going to say fat, because he's fat. Because
I mean, you're not wrong.
You built it up all that, and I thought I was gonna say something profound, but that's all.
No, I thought you were gonna say something unusual, and you kind of did, because when people are like, "Yeah, Santa, the fat guy."
Yeah, he's fat. He's fat, and he's also a phony. He's a big fat phony, Sean.
Oh no, you sound betrayed.
Yeah, well, because the thing is that he's supposed to be, based on Saint Nicholas. The real Saint Nicholas was awesome. He was much better than this guy.
Yeah, give us a mini history lesson.
So Saint Nicholas, or Saint Nicholas of Myra, was born in the modern day country of Turkey. Back then was part of the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, Eastern Roman Empire. And he was awesome. He performed miracles. He gave money to the poor. He healed people. He went on pilgrimages and adventures all across Asia and Europe and Africa. He at the first Council of Nicaea, which historians debate back and forth whether or not he was actually in attendance, but as the story goes, he was in attendance, and he, as the legend has it, when the heretic Arius, who was espousing what's called the Arian heresy, which I won't get into because it's very deep and theological. But anyway, he like after Arius was done talking about his heresy and like why he believed in this heresy, Saint Nicholas went up and just punched him in the face. He just boom, just like socked him right in the face. Like, how cool is that? He was just like, shut up. And
that
he
is
just,
fantastic.
Boom, knocks him right in the face. And I think that's awesome. And I think that's what we should remember. It's not this jolly fat man who gives everybody these gifts, who rides a sled. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I don't think that children should buy into it. I think if anything, it gives them deep-seated trust issues early in life. Right?
Yep.
Because then once you question Santa Claus's existence, you question everything, right?
But now, do you feel the same way about the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny and?
Yes, I do. I don't. I just don't think that. I think setting them up with these fables is just gonna get them to just not trust in. It's gonna give them crises, like existential crises early on in life.
But what about, say, Uncle Sam or Toyotathon? Can we
just Toyotathon?
Happy
is this
Honda
a character?
Days. No, I'm just making a bad joke.
Oh,
you never see those commercials?
Toyotathon?
Happy Toyotathon?
Oh no, I thought Toyotathon was like Toyotatron, like some kind of character that Toyota. Why isn't that a thing? Toyota, come on,
Toyotatron.
Right.
That sounds like a Japanese
like a large
anime.
fighting robot.
Yeah.
But built out of Toyota cars.
I think they made that. It was called Pacific Rim.
Yeah. And Toyota could have sponsored the whole movie.
That
should be on their marketing team.
Anyhow, aside from my bad joke, no, man, I get what you're saying, but
get what I'm saying?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I remember just from personal experience, finding out Santa wasn't real just set me on a downward spiral where I just started questioning everything. I questioned everything because I didn't even know if I was real. I was like, am I real if Santa's not real?
Oh no.
I'm poor little,
however quite an existential child.
9-year-old me had an existential crisis, and I think that setting up kids for that is it's mean. It's mean to do that to them.
Yeah.
And Coca-Cola invented Santa in the 1950s.
Now you're just like every other.
I'm an internet dweeb now.
Basically, no, Matt. I agree. Santa sucks. Like I'm on board with you. It's lame and it's cheesy and it's lying, and I'm with you. But on the other hand, devil's advocate here, I like that Santa. Santa espouses values. Be a good little boy or girl. Don't be on the naughty list, right? So I like that. I don't like that his main purpose is to give gifts, because I think that's reinforcing a bad thing. But the issue I have with Santa is that, yeah, Santa sucks, but we're in way too deep now. You can't just get rid of Santa. There's no going back. We're too deep.
I don't know about that,
Too many
Sean.
people are in on this.
there's a lot of talk already, I think, of getting rid of Santas and replacing Santas and
I think it'll become Santas. More common, but I don't.
You don't think he'll ever disappear from the?
I think it's too ubiquitous.
You don't think that we can detach Santa from the holiday?
I don't think you can just
permanently going to be associated with the holiday forever.
But that's like saying you're going to get rid of Uncle Sam or the Easter Bunny or Michael Jordan. It's just a ubiquitous thing that everybody knows. It's so ingrained in culture.
What if we found out that Santa owned slaves?
I mean, yeah, that would be pretty bad. I mean, the elves aren't paid, I don't think.
Okay.
So
I'm hearing that. Yeah, we have to look into this.
But what I will say is that I am with you that I think Santa is less important today than he was 20 or 40 or 60 years ago. And I think Santa will continue to be less important. Now, I will say, you know what I hate more than Santa?
What's that?
Elf on a Shelf. Elf on a Shelf sucks.
Yeah.
Harder than Santa.
Talk about, I have a theory about Elf on the Shelf.
Okay, please.
The first thing that pops into my head when I think of Elf on the Shelf is absentee parents. Okay, I think of mommy and daddy are too busy to actually parent their kids. So they leave Elf on a Shelf around the house because if he sees what the kids are doing, then he will report back to mommy and daddy. It's basically like trying to make this inanimate object your babysitter. It's a little crazy, if you ask me.
I just think of it as, okay, so we've got this guy, his name is Santa. And Santa is always watching you year-round.
Well, that's it. So why does he...
And he's making a list. So we've taken it to the next level and physically put him in your house. He's there. You can touch him. He's right there. He's watching you right now.
Agent. He has an agent. He has a spy in your house.
You want to talk about emotionally scarring children?
That's a good point.
Elf on a Shelf? That's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's creepy as hell.
And I've heard all sorts of stories of like from the people I know who have kids that, you know, the kids try to hide the elf. They try to destroy the elf because they don't want him constantly watching the things that they do. It's yeah.
Well, I have a coworker I was talking to who said she forgets to move him because you're supposed to move him so he seems like he's alive, and she forgets, and the kids notice and point out. I said, "This sounds like more work for you as the parent. Who is this for?
Right? Yeah.
Why?"
You're like adding. Then in that case, you're just adding you're adding a chore. Yeah, I think luckily though, I think Elf on a Shelf is not here to stay. I think that's a bit of a purely fad from millennial parents. Or were like late, almost millennial parents that have decided to just do this instead of actually parent.
Yes.
Yeah. No way. I don't think it's here to stay.
No.
We talked the Nog. We talked the Santa. What else we got for holiday stuff? Christmas stuff. Christmas carols, Sean. Give me your favorite Christmas carol.
Let's sit right back and we'll hear a tale of a fateful trip. No, that's the Gilligan's Island theme song. No, what's favorite Christmas carol? I don't actually, you know what, Matt? Can we do, if you don't mind, I'm going to broaden this out to Christmas music as a whole. Christmas music is garbage. Christmas music is bad. It's not well written. It's not well composed. It's annoying. It's played constantly. I hate Christmas music.
Bah, humbug.
I
hate Christmas music.
Okay, to be fair, I was the guy who 20 minutes ago was ranting and raving about loving Christmas lights, okay? So don't call me Mr. Humbug, all right?
All right, so he's used the Christmas lights card.
Yes.
Play that one.
I don't dislike Christmas. I dislike Christmas music. And name one good Christmas song.
God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
Oh.
It's like a...
boring.
17. It's like a Dickensian.
That's what I'm saying.
Christmas song. I love it. It's great. It's very, very uplifting. I think. I like that one. I like the classics, Sean. I like the traditional Christmas songs.
When they're sung by like a really good choir, yeah.
O come, Emmanuel.
Oh boy, yeah,
that's
going
like
way
more
back.
like it's like a Gregorian chant. I love it. What else? Silent Night.
No, Silent Night's overdone.
Depends on who does it. I don't like Silent Night sung from like a professional singer, because I do agree. I think they try to overdo it, but I like Silent Night when it comes from like a chorus of people that don't know how to sing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way that I like my Silent Night. Just a lot. The more people, the better. Like if I could have an entire square filled with like hundreds of people singing Silent Night, I think that would bring a tear to my eye, maybe two. The Hallelujah chorus, Andal. Okay, that one's good too. I don't know, what is that song called?
It's called "Do You Hear What I Hear?"
Do you hear what I hear? Okay.
I'm on the God Rest You Merry Gentlemen from approximately 1760.
That's what I thought. 1760 predates the United States.
Yep. Hark the herald angels sing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole Wikipedia
Good
page.
King Wenceslas.
Oh my God.
That's right up your alley, Sean. That's a Polish song, I think.
Little Drummer Boy.
Yep. Little Drummer Boy.
Yep.
Yeah, there's what is the one about figgy pudding? I don't like that one. We wish you a Merry Christmas. That one's lazy. I think that song's lazy.
Yeah, that is.
Because it's just saying the same thing over and over again and then demanding us food before you leave. And basically threatening that you're going to continue to annoy the person's house until you give them, of all things, figgy pudding.
Have you ever had figgy pudding?
What the hell is figgy pudding? I don't even know what it is.
Why wouldn't you just call it fig pudding?
Sounds disgusting. Figgy pudding?
I'm going to Google that one.
I'm assuming it's pudding made out of figs, which doesn't sound all that bad, because I happen to really like figs, but...
Oh, there is a figgy pudding recipe.
What does it look like? Let's see.
It's brown.
Yeah, I mean, that's the color of figs.
Brown loaf. Let's see what's in it. Buttermilk, figs, flour, sugar, baking powder, nutmeg, cinnamon, eggs. Yeah, that's gross.
That doesn't look good. No, does not look good at all. Won't leave until we get some, Sean.
Matt, what's the worst Christmas song?
The worst Christmas song?
Yes. Your least favorite?
I really don't like. It's a newer Christmas song, and was sung by Justin Bieber. It's about mistletoe. I hate that. I haven't heard
this one. That's awesome.
I also really don't like. There's a song, I think it's called "Mary Did You Know." Because whoever made that song clearly doesn't know the Christmas story, because Mary did know. That's the whole point. The angel comes to her, and right. So I think
you just hate how inaccurate it is.
Yeah, it's highly inaccurate.
Yep.
And a little offensive. So I don't like that song at all. But that's more of not the song itself. The song itself, the tune is fine, I'm sure, but just coming from a standpoint like what it's about. But I think my least favorite one of all time, actually, you know what song is awesome? And this is a fairly modern song. Feed the World. Let them know it's Christmas time.
World.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah, that was wasn't that Band-Aid, or that was one of the charity groups?
Oh, it's Christmas
that one's
time at all. That song is great.
Yeah, I'm a little over it. The problem is they just overplay these songs.
Yeah, because that's where all the famous people, they each sing like a part of it. Yeah, that's a great song. And what's the other one? Last Christmas
I gave you.
Is that Boy George, or is that whoever?
I don't know if it might be. It's Wham.
It's Wham
with Boy George. That's a good one.
That was a good song too.
I'll back you up on that.
Those are catchy. They're catchy songs. So a combination of like older and newer songs. My least favorite of all time would probably be the new Justin Bieber one that just came out.
I would say I can't think of in my head how it goes. Happy Christmas War is Over with John Lennon.
Oh,
how does that one go?
So this is Christmas, and what have you done?
Oh my God!
Another year over.
I will literally, if it's like playing a store, I'll leave. I hate that song with such a because it sucks. It's awful. And the other song I would say I really hate is Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time.
Oh,
with the other
that song
Beatle.
is poop. That's Paul McCartney. Yeah. That song's awful.
And they play that one constantly. And that is the fluffiest, lightest, nothing to it song.
Yes, it's just a cash cow. Paul knew that he could stamp his name to it, and he needed to pay for his divorce that was going on at the time. So that's what trash.
Now, Matt, do you know the best-selling Christmas song of all time?
Is it White Christmas by Bing Crosby?
No.
Damn.
No, wait, hang on.
Chestnuts roasting?
No, it is White Christmas.
It is White Christmas.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I thought so.
I was reading the wrong thing. Well, the best-selling single of all time. Ever.
Yeah.
I was thinking the more modern.
Yeah.
Here we go. There's a list. Most performed Christmas songs.
Most performed?
Yeah,
I'm going to say Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
No. It is the number one is Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and then Winter Wonderland.
I think The Boss did it the best. Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, hell yeah.
Santa Claus is Coming. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
No, I was referencing the ubiquitous, apparently the most played song, Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Oh, okay.
That's
the most played one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It holds a number of records.
Huh. Yeah. Never been Christmas caroling, but it seems like it might be a fun thing to do.
God, if it
I don't
so
really
cold.
like to sing. I'm not a singer, but I could, like, in a group I could pretend to
kind of hide in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Smart. Matt, we're basically out of time.
Indeed.
Can you believe it?
This has been quite a fruitful episode, and now bring us some figgy pudding.
Yes, bring us some figgy pudding.
Now bring us some figgy pudding, and we aren't gonna leave your lawn until you do.
Yes.
Is basically the premise of that song.
We're gonna start breaking all your lights.
We fooled
and
you. We tricked you into coming to the window to listen to our crappy song that has like 10 words in it, and now we're not going to leave until you give us.
That's right.
What we demand.
We demand compensation.
Figgy pudding of all things.
Yes. And if you don't have
give us all the money in your wallet. It's not now toss us some chocolates. It's just give us figgy pudding.
Although to be fair, Matt, we will take your money to go buy us some figgy pudding.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's all the money that we're not going to get from Father Christmas. That's another good song. Father Christmas, give us your money. You ever hear that song? It's like a punk song. I think it's by The Clash, I want to say.
That's very funny.
Father Christmas, give us your money. It's about like a poor person who robs a Santa Claus on Christmas because they don't have any money.
Matt, I think
it's got a pretty deep story to it.
I think our holiday episode next year needs to be you and I writing a Christmas carol.
Yeah.
Writing our own.
The song is by the Kinks. I'm sorry, not The Clash, the Kinks, and it's called Father Christmas. It's from 1977. Father Christmas, give us some money. We got no time for your silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoyed. Give us all the toys. Give all the toys to the little rich boys.
Yeah, we should definitely go yell this at people's houses.
Yes.
That would be very pleasant.
Beat you up. Yeah, it's a gang of kids that mug the hell out of Santa Claus outside a department store.
Matt, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah.
But thanks everybody for joining us as always. We appreciate it. You of course get all of our past episodes, including our 6-part XFL series and our gift giving episode from last year, episode 97. It's all on our website, upfordebate.tv. You can also subscribe to the show, get new episodes when they're live anytime in your most popular podcast app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Overcast, you name it, we're there. Video version on YouTube as well. And of course, you can follow us at upfordebatetv on Twitter and email us upfordebatetv@gmail.com. I will do a minor plug here. Over on Don't Panic, the podcast I do with Matt, with Dan and Colby, we just did our year-end wrap-up episode where we talked about our biggest tech story of the year, our best pick of the year. I picked my we all picked, but I picked my favorite TV shows, my favorite podcasts, my favorite piece of tech gadget for the year. And we did predictions for next year. It's a really great episode. You can check that out over at don'tpanic.io or wherever you get podcasts. That's a mini plug there. And Matt, this is going to be our last show of 2018.
That's right. 2018 is in the books.
We did
almost.
We did it. We did a lot of episodes this year.
We did. This has been a jam-packed year for Up for Debate.
It has, and we have got we've already teased it a little bit, but we've got a lot of great stuff planned for 2019. We're going to be off until early January. We're taking some time off for the holidays, but definitely stick around. Come back. We're going to be doing, at some point in the first half of the year, our James Bond cinema retrospective. We're also going to be doing our annual Super Bowl prop bets. Will be coming in early February, so that'll be exciting. I'm sure we'll do more book clubs. We're going to have a great set of shows for you next year. Thanks, everybody who joined us this year in 2018. We appreciate it, as always. You guys are the best, but we're going to send you out in style this year. On behalf of Matt, I am Sean. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next year for more fun times on Up for Debate.